Alright. Alright, YOLO. Hello. This is AJT500 slash time to track 98 slash Luis Wonder Eye slash YOLO. And we're here to talk about taking Siegfried swords plus Siegfried the character as well. Also got to mention the Siegfried live 2D wallpaper thing, which is cool. And Earth got it first. We're always the thinking guinea pig element, even in crazy stuff. Anyway, so I'm mostly just gonna go into this real quick because we've been testing a whole bunch of different stuff, and yeah, I took like a notepad that you guys can't see because I'm not editing this second video. I'm editing this out of the stream, but I got a notepad, so just believe me, bro. Anyway, one Sieg sword is significantly better so far from what we've seen. In like every scenario, if you throw in a Sieg dagger, I guess unless you're just purely oging every single turn, that joint is better. And we've seen up to like a 5% increase on stuff like Womdus and Tefnut and stuff like that. We also saw increase when we did Fall Zero earlier as well, on the damage per turns. For one versus three. So the thing about it is one is like bare minimum. Bare minimum you want one. But I'm thinking personally that two of them is probably optimal. And I have like what I think is base grid now. So I think base grid looks something like this. Now the thing about base grid now is right now we actually don't have a Sieg dagger, which I'll get into later. But this is like kind of what base grid looks like. I think if you were gonna put a Sieg dagger in, you swap out the World Ender. The World Ender plus the Sieg dagger seem to be very similar damage. I guess I could just talk about it now. But the Sieg dagger, Sieg dagger when you if you're doing something that's full auto, when you get the echo proc and the plane damage proc, it costs you time to do that animation. Whereas if you take the Sieg dagger out, you can get similar echoes with this. Plus you can just supplement your skill damage with World Ender and just go faster in general. It's not like super fast, but you are saving seconds when you're doing that. Now, if we tested this on Ultimate Bahamut earlier, but if you need a character to die because of the plane damage, that's when you swap in the Sieg dagger instead of the World Ender. Also, special Sieg dagger seems to be really strong right now. But attack might also be good as well. So I'm thinking two Sieg swords is probably optimal, but if you can only get one is also still a huge increase at like 5-ish% from what I've seen. Now three Sieg swords is super freak, super invested in Earth. Three swords or two swords plus a minnow and another crit weapon for 100%. Also need Uriel back or Galleon summon. So what we tried in taking Fall Zero earlier, and I think this was a bit different. This. I think before we had, what was it? It was like this or something. It was like this. Something like this is what we had before. And like for this, well, actually, let me take this out for now. So like right now, we have 100% crit, but you need to bring Galleon or Uriel backline for this to hit. So pretty much you need two weapons plus another. I guess technically you can also do one weapon, but the grid's going to be like super whack. Like I have another grid that I was showing earlier that was like this. That this is also 100% crit, but then you got to use a minnow and you got to use Anthuria weapon. So you can do something like this, but essentially you need three weapons to crit. You need three weapons to crit. So whatever three you want to go. But we were doing, when we tried Fall Zero earlier, it was like this. But I think something like this would probably be better. So I hope you got a Thinking a minnow, because you want the TA on this joint too, because this joint doesn't give TA. This Sieg weapon. Dagger for 100 hit. Oh yeah. I'll get to that. I have notes on it. So let me see next. Okay, percent hit to defense does go up with multiple weapons. So This off rip just has 10% hit to defense, but if you use multiple of them, you do get extra 10%, but the 10% isn't affected by any other type of boost. It's just affected by how many of the weapons you have. So if you go up to 3, you can get up to 3% hit to defense. It seemed fine when we ran 3 on Fall Zero earlier until sub 20%. For like the first turn when I cleared my labor, I got super chunked and almost died there. But then it kind of seemed to be okay for the rest of the turn sub 20. So I guess just with Fall Zero, when you first clear out your labor, you might get cooked there. So just make sure you actually have like HP or defense or something like that. Um, Sieg Dagger unironically can be dropped in some scenarios, aka full auto if you want to cut time. Okay, I already said this before, but pretty much Sieg Dagger. It seems that this is able to rival Sieg Dagger in a lot of scenarios. It's able to rival it, even though it doesn't have as much of an HP like or not HP, a damage modifier. It's still able to rival it in a lot of different grids. So taking Sieg Dagger out is viable. Skill damage is still busts as crap, so Sieg Dagger can be dropped for World Ender Sieg Grid from above. So that was seeking this originally, where not only again can Sieg Dagger be dropped, but skill damage is just so busted, especially when you have people like Raziel who do S1, and specifically Makra. And now I guess that is one thing that also needs testing, is if you go into a non-Makra comp, how good is the skill damage versus the Sieg Dagger? I'm guessing then the Sieg Dagger is going to kind of take precedence if you don't use Makra, but you kind of use Makra like everywhere. So unless you just don't have Makra, the skill damage is pretty much equal to or above the Sieg Dagger. Um, Next, a minnow can be used for TA and to help max crit if needed, especially in extra grids where there's more space. 2 Siegs and a minnow, so that's pretty much what I showed back here in the Fall Zero thing. You can have a grid like this. I also have, so this was the thing that I just brought up, where mana mel weapons, since we're dealing with negative defense percent right here, what you can do, you could just do a sword right here and do a world ender right here for your skill supplemental, or you could bring in mana mel's gun if you have that, and you can get a mini world ender in the form of this supplement skill damage, plus more HP and plus garrison to help you deal with the fact that you're taking more damage from these weapons. And also in a grid like this, you are also taking less damage because you don't have the Sieg Dagger, so you don't have the dot damage if you're not spamming Ogi. So I think honestly, you should be able to work around this percent defense relatively easy. Also, like Arusu had brought up before, when you're doing a comp like this in Fall Zero, Kame is going to be guarding with taking all your damage. So, and Makra can like dodge as well. So, yeah, you're kind of chill with that. What's that top left? That's mana mel weapon, Halloween mana mel weapon. Um, so yeah, so you can use mana mel weapon for stuff like that. Um, okay, so this is the other thing. So the weapon in Olivia Kame Makra comp with Seek Dagger proc is 103 hits, so don't need to worry about 99 hits or below. So Renewed brought this up. I wonder if I can bring this up on whatchamacallit. This here we go. So this is Renewed's. Thank you, Renewed, for doing the math on this. So a big up to this comp in general before is you could run a Damascus knife before to help you get an extra echo to fight against 99 hits pretty much by just pressing attack. But now, because this is also giving you a unique echo, you also can just do this. Granted, I think you did need a Seek Dagger for this, right? To be able to hit that 103. So I guess you're getting a little bit less if you don't bring the Seek Dagger. So you may have to use like another skill or something if you did like an exact grid like this. So, but you can also get it through 99 hits with this echo as well. Let me bring my Tiki notepad back up. Okay. Unconditional echo is nice. Oh snap! I scrolled too far down. Unconditional echo is nice not only for one turn stuff that you couldn't do with Sieg Dagger, but the echo works with Makra because it's not tied to triple attacks or anything like that. Without, okay, renewed has confirmed. Without Sieg Dagger, you're 12 hits short. So technically, you would need what? You could probably do like Kame red card S3. You could do like Olivia S3. Anything like that. I guess Makra S3, but you might use that for 99 mil damage. So you may have to like, it may take some testing on how much you can do with these echoes for 99 mil damage and what you can take off of that. But if you take Sieg Dagger, you're like fine. Um so anyway, moving on. Taking, yeah, the unconditional echo is nice for not only one turn stuff that you couldn't do with Seek Dagger, but the echo works with Makra because it's not tied to triple attacks or anything like that. So one of the things with Makra is when it comes to Makra's weapon and like Vakala's weapon is you do get these extra hits, but it's only on triple attacks, and she doesn't triple attack. So that's one of the reasons why Damascus Knife was so strong, because she just got that echo in general, but now she also just gets this unconditional echo by just existing as well. So you can also just like use this, and your Makra not only does like a ton more damage, but she also just benefits from this in general. Was that picture? Is that something you made? No, that's what Renewed made below you in chat. Kame S3 will be 11 hits. Olivia S3 will be 22 hits in that case. So you would need Olivia S3 then. I guess technically you could do, if you had Kame double deal, you could do a hit of beatdown. Beat down and then do red guard. You could do that. uh, let me see. So yeah, just unconditional triple attack unconditional echo is just very strong in general. Makra S2 gives 100% crit, so you can play into crit amp without worrying about 100% in the grid if playing to burst with her. So pretty much, right now you need to run 3 weapons to get 100% crit if you just want it in the grid. But if you just wanted to do some type of burst thing and you bring Makara, as long as you press her S2, you get 100% crit regardless. So you can just play into the amp that way instead of having to actually be 100% crit in the grid. I think that's it for the weapon, though. I think that's it for the weapon. So pretty much for the weapon, you really, really, really want 1. But I think 2 is probably optimal. And 2 seems to fit into grids decently well because of how strong it is. 3 is on some freaky stuff, though. I don't think you really need 3, but 3 is questionably viable. Anyway, let's see. So next thing is just seeking Siegfried himself. So Siegfried himself, I have some notes here. So Siegfried himself, S1, I guess I'll bring his full thing up. S1 is strong because it buffs someone else behind him pretty consistently after 1 Ogi. So pretty much after 1 Ogi, you get, so this thing always activates after normal attacks, which isn't a crazy requirement for just 1 Ogi. S3 is really strong for damage reduction plus water switch. This is also really good, and also if you play him in an Ogi comp, once he gets 2 stacks of this and he starts resetting this thing will practically have 100% uptime. Especially if you played this with like something like Andromeda, where you have that extra charge bar gain now, where he's going to be Ogiing a lot if you play him in an Ogi comp. So he's going to constantly have this, which means he's going to constantly give this to your party, which means he's kind of like a better Kame for Ogi related comps, assuming you don't need any of Kame's other stuff. He kind of just helps you because you constantly have this anyway. So that's really strong. Character in general can be useful if not all Earth characters are obtained, like Summer Raziel. The reason why I say specifically Summer Raziel is because I had this full auto before for Leviathan Mare, where I use Raziel right here, but I pretty much just 1-for-1 swapped in Siegfried, and the time is nigh identical. And then sometimes it actually does like more damage than Raziel does. So he can fit in pretty much Siegfried's thing is he's not really a burst unit, but any place where you can Ogi even somewhat consistently, even if you're using hunting, he's very, very strong. he's very, very strong in, because he gives you a lot of defense and he gives your party a lot of, well, he gives the person behind you a lot of damage. His skill also, like his skill nukes also do a taking ton of damage as well. So he can also be using something like, the main thing I'm looking at is something like Hexa or Fall Zero solos. Any of that stuff where you use like Andromeda or Ogi comps, he's really strong in that. Or something like Leviathan Mare, where you're actually kind of more forced to Ogi. Or we don't have it right now and it's not coming anytime soon, but also 250 in the future as well for Guild War. He's just not a burst unit. Um, Oh yeah, he's also can be a replacement for Alexiel. So another thing when it comes to a lot of those comps, pretty much for Hexa and Fall Zero solo right now, the characters you kind of use are Alexiel, Luo, Sidala. It's kind of like some combination of those four. So Siegfried can kind of fit into, I would say more so like probably like the Luo or the Alexiel slots. He can probably fit into those and be pretty useful in those compositions. Um, yeah, and he might be good for Guild War. And then lastly, just the Sieg Sword. Sieg Sword doesn't say Proto Bahamut. We tried some Proto Bahamut stuff, but Earth just takes too many buttons. Unfortunately, even though we got a good weapon, we didn't get a good burst unit, so it just doesn't really help for Proto Bahamut. So yeah, that's pretty much it. But yeah, so again, I think mostly you want to aim for one sword. Aim for one sword, but if you're like super invested in Earth, you definitely want two. If you're super invested in Earth, you definitely want two. If you're a freak of nature, you get three. But I don't think three is really necessary. That's what I'll be. But if you get one, that's like what you really want, to be honest. So I think that's it. Chat room, did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? I think I pretty much summed up everything. I think that's pretty much it. And again, I think this is like kind of the grid. Now I will say, if you don't have, see that's another thing. I haven't looked too much at the Galleon grids, but if you have Galleon grids, that's where you get like you kind of can't have Galleon grids at this point, because you would have to take out like this whole bottom slot. You would probably take out like this whole bottom slot for 3 Galleons, then do 1 Medusa and 1 Sieg. Is probably what you would do, assuming you don't need Sieg Dagger. That's probably what you would do. Addendum added. Common Earth Grishna. Did you mention Magna uses, or is it a wash? I think it might be a wash, fam. I think it may be a wash, but I haven't tested anything with Magna yet, so I don't know. I don't know anything about Magna yet. We've only been doing Primal. But I think that's pretty much it. I think that's pretty much it. If I think of anything else, I'll make like a follow-up video, I guess. But I think that's pretty much it. So anyway, this one ends. Hey, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. Might be useful for the 100. For the Fall Zero 100 hit. Just one of. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. I guess just having one of them could help you in Fall Zero as well. So yeah. My crew is doom pesting the weapon because of only medium skills. Yeah, me too. Yeah, the medium skills, I will say before I end the video, the medium skills are kind of scuffed. But I guess it's cope at this point, but we still don't have an impalement weapon. The impalement weapon could kind of help out some of this crit in the future as well. I don't know what the impalement's going to look like if we even get the impalement. But yeah, so I think that's it for the video though. I think that's it.